Right now, some troubling signs for our local economy. Chances are you or someone you know works in the hospitality industry, but tourism numbers show a continued decline right here in Southern Nevada, and that dip in visitors is causing a big concern for many Valley workers.
$2.3 billion built more than a building. It built a promise. A promise that Las Vegas would once again reinvent entertainment. The Sphere wasn't supposed to be just another concert venue or flashy landmark. It was meant to be the future itself, a glowing orb of light that could bend reality, turning every performance into an otherworldly experience. And for a time it worked. The visuals were breathtaking, the sound felt supernatural, and the sheer spectacle made audiences believe they were witnessing something historic. Crowds poured in. Celebrities lined the seats. Social media exploded with clips that looked like science fiction. For a brief, brilliant moment, Las Vegas had done it again. It had found a new way to make people believe in magic. But beneath that glow, something darker began to take shape. Behind the screens and lights, the numbers stopped making sense. Costs skyrocketed, losses mounted, and the headlines that once called it the future of entertainment began to sound more like a warning. Now, the $2.3 billion dream that was supposed to redefine live shows is struggling to survive. The question is, what went wrong? How did something built to outshine the Strip become one of its biggest financial risks? But before we begin, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel to help us beat the YouTube algorithm. When the Sphere first illuminated the Vegas skyline, it was like a spaceship had landed in the desert, a perfect globe covered in 50 million LED panels that shimmered in color, rippled with light, and displayed moving images larger than any billboard ever could. People from all over the world came just to see it glow. They parked on nearby highways, snapping photos and posting videos that instantly went viral. Before it even opened, the Sphere was one of the most recognizable structures on Earth. A monument to human imagination. Stepping inside was like walking into another planet. The screen towered higher than most buildings, wrapping the audience in an unbroken 360-degree world of light and motion. The sound was surreal. Over 160,000 speakers hidden behind the walls created pinpoint audio so precise that every whisper seemed to come from exactly where it should. The Sphere didn't just play movies or host concerts, it transported people into digital worlds. The first major act to play there was U2, and their shows became instant legends. Fans called it a sensory storm, a concert that felt alive. Social media couldn't look away. Videos of the interior racked up millions of views, each one showing something the world had never quite seen before. Then came Postcard from Earth, directed by Darren Aronofsky, the same filmmaker behind Black Swan. It wasn't a movie in the traditional sense. It was built for the Sphere alone, a nature odyssey that wrapped the audience in oceans, forests, and skies so realistic that some people felt dizzy. For a while, it looked like the Sphere had rewritten the rules of entertainment. Investors poured in, executives talked about a revolution in live performance. Sphere Entertainment, the company behind the project, became a symbol of bold innovation. It was a fusion of art, architecture, and engineering that no one else dared to attempt. But inside the spreadsheets, the excitement started to collapse. Just months after opening, the company reported an operating loss of nearly $100 million, gone in a single quarter. And that was only the beginning. Within a year, the losses ballooned past $500 million. This wasn't leftover construction debt. It was pure operating loss, the kind that doesn't go away unless the business model changes. The problem was simple but devastating. Running the Sphere cost a fortune. Every LED panel, every sound system, every projection needed constant maintenance. Engineers worked 24/7 to keep it running. Energy bills were enormous. Air conditioning a 17,000-seat dome in the middle of the desert was a full-time operation. Add in insurance, staffing, and security, and the costs reached astronomical levels. The Sphere wasn't a venue, it was a machine that burned money every day it stayed on. Revenue couldn't keep up. U2's residency brought attention, but most of the ticket profits went to the band. Postcard from Earth drew crowds for a few weeks but didn't have staying power. Once you'd seen it, there was no reason to return. Unlike a touring concert or a Broadway show that evolves, the Sphere's experiences were static. The company tried lowering ticket prices from $119 to $99, hoping to attract more visitors. But even then, reports began to surface of half-empty shows, demand was cooling, and the novelty that once made it a global sensation was wearing off. Then came the shocker. the company's CFO suddenly resigned. No scandal, no explanation, just a quiet exit. For investors, that was a major red flag. A CFO doesn't walk away from a billion-dollar project without reason. It hinted at tension at the top and cracks forming in the vision. Analysts started asking the obvious questions. Could the Sphere ever be profitable? Was it designed to make money, or was it always more of a monument to ambition? At the center of everything was James Dolan, billionaire owner of Madison Square Garden and the New York Knicks, a man known for bold ideas, controversy, and a career swinging between brilliance and backlash. The Sphere was his legacy project, something he wanted to outlive him. He poured hundreds of millions into custom sound systems, immersive design studios, and LED panels built from scratch. He saw the Sphere as a theater, a canvas, and the future of storytelling. But as costs kept rising, that vision started looking reckless. When ambition becomes obsession, budgets stretch, warnings fade, and innovation turns into overreach. No matter how stunning something is, the math still has to work. Technology ages, audiences move on, and the wow factor fades. The Sphere is still a marvel, a technical masterpiece almost no one else could build. But also a warning, innovation alone isn't a business model. Of the $2.3 billion budget, about $1.4 billion went into construction. The steel frame, the 366-foot dome, and the 50 million LED panels built to survive desert heat and earthquakes. Another $600 million funded technology like the 16K screen, motion-synced seats, and a pinpoint audio system, all custom designed. The final $300 million covered operations, marketing, salaries, consultants, and Sphere Studios. But almost all of that is sunk cost. The building can't make money just by existing. It has to keep drawing people in. And right now, it's not even selling out every night might not save it. Costs are too high, and every show demands new visuals and custom programming. Content created for the Sphere can't be resold, streamed, or toured. A film like Postcard from Earth lives and dies inside one building, the opposite of how entertainment makes money worldwide. The Sphere doesn't scale. It's one venue in one city. Once tourists see it, demand drops while expenses stay fixed. That's how a project can look spectacular on the outside, but quietly bleed millions underneath. Still, the story isn't over. The Sphere could pivot. Esports, global simulcasts, immersive sports, or something no one's tried yet. The potential is huge, but so is the risk right now. It stands as a glowing paradox, a monument to creativity and a warning about ambition without limits. It showed what's possible when imagination meets engineering, but it also raised a hard question. In the race to build the future of entertainment, how much brilliance can the world afford? Because in the heart of Las Vegas, under 50 million lights, a $2.3 billion dream still burns. Beautiful, impossible, and fighting to survive. What do you think? Give us your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss on any of our daily videos.